Hi friends, welcome to the daily answer writing challenge. Guys, today's question is discuss the need to shift from land productivity to water productivity in Indian agriculture. So guys, these kinds of analytical questions, today I am going to give you a template which may help you to write a very good answer and fetch very high marks in the UPSC mains examination. Guys, in these kinds of questions, what you need to do is that you can see here, basically the question says that you have to give reasons why we need to move from land productivity to water productivity. Okay, so first of all what you need to do is that you need to be first of all understand the question. You need to understand the demand of the question. So for that you need to understand what is land productivity and what is water productivity. Okay, this is very important, because if you do not understand the difference between land productivity and water productivity, then you will not be able to answer this question very effectively. Next, what you need to do is that you need to find out the problems in land productivity and what will be the advantages in the water productivity. Because if we are shifting from one to the other, this means this has some problems and these has some advantages. So let's start, guys. So guys, in questions which relate into general studies paper 3, it is very important that you have some concrete facts. More and more facts, you will get more and more marks. Guys, I have scored more than 100 marks in general studies paper 3. I can tell you most of the students who struggle to score high marks in general studies paper 3 is because they are not able to substantiate their point with facts. Okay, so what you can do is that you can say that we can start like this, that India has around 18% of the world population, but just 4% of water. Okay, 4% of water. And agriculture sector consumes around 80% of water. Agriculture sector consumes according to CWC, okay, Central Water Commission. Okay, so you have given the context why we need to conserve water. Okay, because India has just 4% of world water, but we have to feed around 18% of the world population, which is a big challenge. And in that, agriculture sector, out of all the sectors, agriculture sector is consuming itself 80% of the water. Okay, 80% of the water. So we can say that, okay, now in this context, in this context we'll say that, okay, there is a demand to shift from, not demand, basically will not say demand, there is a recommendation by experts to shift from land productivity to water productivity. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so first what we'll do, we'll say that, okay, we'll first talk about, okay, we'll write like this: land productivity, water productivity. So in land productivity, what is the problem here? We can have what? Distorted cropping pattern, with focus on water intensive crops like rice, sugarcane, etc. Okay, input intensive Okay, so here what happens is that if you see in India in the last 50-60 years, our focus has been on land productivity, increasing the productivity of the land. by basically supplying more and more input in the form of water, fertilizers, etc. And guys, you all know that without water no fertilizer will work, so more and more water. So our policy, okay, our policy, MSP policy or the subsidy policy, power subsidy policy, basically favored what? Over irrigation. It focused on over irrigation and cultivating these crops, which has led to, okay, which has led to what? Land degradation and water depletion. Water depletion. An example is what? Example is Punjab and Haryana. Punjab and Haryana. In its place, what we have to do is that we have to shift towards water productivity. What is water productivity, guys? So here the focus will be on water use efficiency. Water use efficiency. Okay, we have to go for agroclimatic crops. Agroclimatic crops like millets in semi-arid regions. Then we have to go for what? Micro irrigation. Micro irrigation. We have to go for micro irrigation, and we have to go for water conservation. We have to go for water conservation. So we need what? Change in cropping pattern to move towards water productivity. What do we need? We need what? We need to change the cropping pattern from water intensive crops to water resilient crops like millets. And what we need to do is that we have to shift from the flood irrigation to newer techniques of irrigation, which is micro irrigation. And we need to conserve more and more water. We need to conserve more and more water, and for that government has a lot of projects. Okay, here you can give name: per drop more crop. Okay, Pradhan Mantri Krisi Sinchai Yojana, you can talk about that. Here you can also quote the Economic Survey 2018 and 19 has discussed this problem of land productivity and water productivity, that if really India wants to, okay, secure its future population of food security, first it has to ensure water security, because without water security we will not be able to achieve food security. Water is essential for agriculture growth, but at present we are wasting a lot of water because we are cultivating crops which are not agroclimatically suited to that region. For example, in Punjab we are growing rice, we are growing sugarcane. In Maharashtra, which is not agroclimatically suited for these water intensive crops. So what we are doing is that here we are pumping a lot of groundwater using the subsidies, the power subsidies, and because of the MSP policy also, farmers are not shifting to other crops. They are basically glued to this rice and sugarcane. So what we need to do is that we have to reorient all our policies. So what is the way out? What is the way out? We have to change the MSP policy. MSP policy, we have to basically, next we have to change the subsidy policy, the power subsidies. Then we have to basically incentivize micro irrigation. We have to incentivize micro irrigation, and we have to basically help in diversification of agriculture, to millets and etc crop. In the end you will talk about that without water security, you cannot achieve food security. Food security and water security is linked to each other. So guys, I hope you were able to understand how to tackle this question. This diagram you can draw this. This is a diagram, because see, in UPSC mains examination, more and more diagrams you make, you are like going to get more and more marks. What you can do, when you can draw one more diagram, let me just show you. You can draw one more diagram. You can draw a map of India. You can draw a map of India. For example, you can like draw like this. Okay. Okay. And you can show this region, and you can show this region. Okay, they are growing water intensive crop. They are growing the water intensive crop, so they need to shift towards water productivity, not the land productivity. And this region where the productivity is less, land productivity is less, they should focus more on land productivity. Thank you guys. Bye bye, take care.